A joint Philippine House panel lifts its contempt orders against 3 key figures linked to illegal offshore gaming. The House Quad Committee made a move as one of its members tagged ex-President Duterte as the center of a grand criminal enterprise. Vivian Gulia has the details.
The Quad Committee has started to uncover a grand criminal enterprise, and it would seem that at the center of it is the former president. Napakasakit po nito dahil tayo pong lahat ay nabudol.
This sentiment regarding the Duterte administration's drug war is shared by the House Quad Committee, according to its overall chairperson, Robert Ace Barbers.
Kasi nga, maaaring itong si Michael Yang ay isang pinakamalaking budol, no? Na nagpanggap na isang lehitimong negosyante. Nagamit niya ang ating mga opisyales nang sa ganun makapagpasok siya ng maraming tuneladang droga sa ating bansa, no? In the guise of being a legit investor.
But whether the Quadcom will recommend the filing of charges against former President Rodrigo Duterte remains to be seen. It will present its progress report before the House plenary next week.
Ang aming rekomendasyon ay base doon sa ating nakita, nadinig, at natanggap na mga ebidensya, testimonial, at saka documentary evidence nung ginawa namin yung mga pagdinig.
In the spirit of Christmas, the Quadcom lifted on Thursday its contempt order against Bamban Mayor Alice Guo, Lucky South 99 authorized representative Cassandra Ong, and Chinese businessman Tony Yang. Barbers explained that the Quadcom is convinced it can no longer extract any additional information from them that may be useful to its investigation, adding that Ong and Yang are suffering from medical conditions. The mega panel has also lifted the contempt orders on several witnesses, but the contempt ruling against former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque and his wife still stands. Barber says if they at least submit the documents, which are subject of a subpoena, the Quadcom can hold a special meeting to lift their contempt order. Meanwhile, more than 150 scaled-down POGOs are still operating, according to the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, despite government's shutdown order. Over 2,300 foreign POGO workers have been deported to their country of origin, mostly to China. Another issue that local authorities have to address is the so-called POGO babies. The commission says it is working with the Social Welfare Department to find support for these kids left behind by their foreign parents who were former POGO workers.
Meron kami mga 24 na mga POGO babies nating tinatawag at ito po ay sinusuportahan ng PAO pagdating po sa kanilang pangangailangan. Even po yung hospitalization ng mga bata pag nagkakasakit po, kami po yung tumutulong dyan. So, yun nga ho, nakipag-coordinate na rin kami sa DSWD para naman po mabigyan natin kasi hindi naman ho pwedeng puro gano'n na lang po ang gagawin natin, puro suporta pagdating sa panggatas, pang-pampers, saka yung mga pambayad sa renta. Pero, siyempre, para kailangan mabuhay po, magkaroon ng kabuhayan yung pamilya o yung nanay para naman po ipantustos niya sa paglaki ng bata. So, yun ho ang tinitingnan natin kaya nakikipag-coordinate po tayo sa DSWD.
President Marcos in July announced a sweeping ban on POGOs in the country, citing their links to crimes and human rights abuses.
Masasabi niyo po ba na nung time na yon yung Davao Group ang pinakamainit na grupo, kumbaga sila yung pinakamagandang grupo na maging part ng negosyo o maging katrabaho nung time na yon?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Yes. Ikaw, Sir Jimmy, ano masasabi mo dun sa time?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Kumbaga, it is the hottest item in the menu, parang ganun, no?
Yes, Your Honor. From the start, after the outtaking from Malacanang, ganun po ang
Hanggang
customs na
matapos.
kainit. Opo.
Maraming salamat. Balikan ko lang, no, Mark, kasi na-mention mo na kanina from the questions posted by our honorable colleagues, our members. Itong Davao Group na to na kasama po si Tita Nani, Jojo Bacod, Congressman Pulong Duterte, and different actors. Masasabi mo ito yung composition ng Davao Group, Mark?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Sino masasabi mo na head o leader ng Davao Group na to?
Well, tingin ko po si Paulo Duterte po.
Yan po ba ay common knowledge po sa inyong pinagtatrabahuan dati?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Normal na napag-uusapan, parang it's passed around, hindi po walang alanganin, wala pong masasabi na hindi kayo sigurado.
Yes po, Your Honor.
With that, Mr. Chair, I will end my short interpellation, but I'll add a brief manifestation kasi na-shock po ako dun sa sinabi ni Mr. Jimmy Guban, and I'd like to ask him kung pwede niya pong ulitin. Since, sabi niya po kasi, since time immemorial, nangyayari na po lahat ng mga to, not only with our problems with drugs, pero po nasabi niya po yung tungkol sa ating sa bigas or sa agricultural products. Tama po ba, Sir Jimmy?
Yes po, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Chair, siguro yung knowledge po na nalalaman ni Sir Jimmy tungkol po dito, not only with drugs, but not only with what we're tackling now, pati po dun sa bigas, will be a vital source of information po, lalo po sa ating Quintacom, Mr. Chair. So I would like to manifest na we should consider na adding as a resource person sa Quintacom si Mr. Jimmy Guban. Again, thank you, Mr. Chair, for the time.
Okay, thank you, Congressman Ortega, for that short
Mr. Chair.
interpellation. Yes, Congressman Abante.
If I can just advise Mark Taguba, no? You want to be a legitimate businessman, correct?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Huwag ka na mag-ano ng mga illegal pang kontrabando para hindi mo na kontakin pa yung Davao Group, di ba?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Inisipin mo yung sarili mo. Yun ang unang-unang dapat mong gawin. Oh.
Yes po, Your Honor.
At then, I would like to ask Mr. Chair if we can ask Mr. Taguba to submit to us his personal ledger. Doon nakalista yung mga pinagbigyan mo ng pera at kung sino-sino.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Meron ka bang notebook o listahan?
Hahanapin ko pa po yun. Matagal na po kasi. 7 taon na nakakalipas.
Sige. Para pagka ito'y nakita mo, submit mo dito sa committee.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Okay, so before the next interpellator,
Mr. Chair.
if I may, I'll just ask a few questions kay Jimmy Guban. Jimmy, yung bang Henry Tan na nabanggit mo kanina, isa siya sa kagaya ni Mark Taguba na player sa customs. When I say player sa customs, siya ang nagpa-facilitate ng mga importation.
Financier, Your Honor.
Financier.
Binibigay. Katulad po yun kay Mark. Si Mark, merong Chinese na kausap, binibigay sa kanya. So si Mr. Henry Tan, isa rin ganun.
So, halimbawa, kagaya nung nabanggit kanina ni Mark, yung bang si Hong Fei ay kakilala mo?
Hindi po, Your Honor.
So, paano siya naging kliyente mo?
Si Kenneth Dong po kasi ang kliyente ko eh. So,
Sige. So, bali, ang middleman ay si Kenneth Dong. And then, etong si Henry Tan ay ganun din ang kanyang partisipasyon.
Opo, Your Honor.
Parang sila yung naghahanap na mag-i-import dahil meron silang kakilala sa loob ng customs para maipalabas yung mga importation na ito.
Yes, Your Honor. Marami silang consignees, the same with Mark.
Okay.
Merong 3, 5. Din yung mga shipper from the port of origin, sila ang nagmamanage nun. So, in fact, kung i-share ko kay Mark, yung shipper dapat nun ay makuha nila para pag galing doon sa port of loading, port of origin, malalaman kung sino yung mga incorporator din nun.
Okay.
Then malalaman po natin kung sino ang nag-load.
Pero posible rin, no? Posible rin na yung mga incorporator fictitious. Hindi totoo.
Yes, Your Honor. Ganun po ang ginagawa. Most common po ng Chinese businessman. Kaya ayaw nila dito magkaroon ng sariling consignee. Kasi karamihan doon may violation eh. Dahil karamihan po noon, in-French product po pagkagaling China. In fact,
Okay.
karamihan po ng importation ay bawal. I think if I'm not mistaken, nang umatin ako ng seminar, around the world, that is 80%. Pagkagaling sa China, ay dapat niya nasa red lahat. To include agricultural products.
So, dapat, is that a customs policy? Yan ba ay policy, Attorney Buko? Na lahat ng importation na galing ng China ay dapat nasa red lane?
Not necessarily, Your Honor.
So ano yung mga maaring hindi mapasok sa red lane na galing China na importation?
I'm not certain, Your Honor.
So how would you now classify any importation coming from China na maipasok sa red lane? So si Attorney Buko muna, anong 'di ba kasi merong classification, 'di ba? So normally kapag ang importation, ang goods ay galing ng China ay red lane kaagad 'yan. Tama? Ngayon unless accredited at merong magandang track record yung nag-i-import, yun lang siguro ang pwede maging green lane. Tama?
Green or yellow, Your Honor.
Green or yellow, no? Pag yellow, may inspection. Pag green, walang inspection. Tama? So, tama ba yun, Jimmy?
Your Honor, medyo okay po, tama po yun.